Imagine 1941. A child sits at a wooden desk with a pen and a blank piece of paper, and the question in front of them is to write about a famous author for 15 minutes. No phone, no internet, and no AI. Just their own brains. Guess what? They did it. Now the same question to you. What do you do first? Whenever I try researching on a topic that I am genuinely interested in, I notice something different in me. I was always chasing for quick results. Before even trying to think about it, before even putting some effort, I was going straight to AI. And I told myself this was the productivity. But I noticed something worse. I was sucked to a level where I didn't want to put in the effort to solve a problem that something a 10-year-old could solve. Scientists call this cognitive offloading. It's the act of delegating your thinking to an external tool instead of doing it yourself. This isn't the first time. It started with calculators, then GPS replaced our ability to navigate, Google replaced our need to remember the facts. But here's the thing that is different about AI. Studies shows that over reliance on generative AI leads to something called cognitive entropy, where our essential skills like critical thinking and problem solving skills were diminished because we offload them to AI. So I started digging what it is exactly doing to our brain, why researchers are seeing memory decline in the people who are using AI daily, and most importantly, can we do something about this before even it is too late? Before talking about how AI is affecting our brains, let us simply understand how our brain actually works. Your brain has two memory systems that works in parallel. First one is declarative memory and the second one is procedural memory. One for the facts and events that you can consciously recall, and one for the skills and habits that becomes automatic, like riding a bike and typing without looking at the keyboard. The real expertise comes when the knowledge flows from one to the second. This means in many learning domains, these both systems are getting involved. To help you understand better, let me take multiplication as an example. Think about the time that you learned multiplication tables as a child. At first, you consciously memorizing each and every answer. 3 times 4 equals 12, 3 times 5 equals 15, such that you have to think about it each and every time. But with enough repetition, it becomes a quick route response. That shift from conscious effort to automatic response is where the real learning happens. And the journey between these two systems requires one thing above everything else: struggle. Remember the frustration of memorizing those tables, the confusion of your first driving lesson, and the awkwardness of learning a new language. That discomfort wasn't the obstacle to learning. That discomfort is the actual learning. AI removes this discomfort entirely. And with it, without you even noticing, it removes the entire learning too. Simply asking AI to complete your work will not mean you are productive. It takes you your creativity and your reasoning abilities. Researchers at MIT Media Lab ran an experiment. They took 54 students and split them into 3 groups. One group write an essay using their own brains, the second group used ChatGPT, and the third group used Google search. And all their brain activities were measured and the results were shocking. The students using ChatGPT showed 55% lower brain activity than the students working alone. Their brains weren't just working less, they had almost completely switched off. But here's the scariest part. When the AI users are asked to write the essay without AI, they couldn't even remember their own previous essay. Not because they are careless, but because their thinking never actually happened inside them. The essay got written, but nothing got learned and nothing got stored in their brains. This isn't just one experiment in one lab. From almost 50 years straight, from 1930s all the way to 1980s, human IQ scores were rose consistently every single decade. People were measurably getting smarter generation after generation. Scientists call it the flame effect. It feels like the human progress had a direction. Then something changed. The line is slowly getting reversed. Humans started getting measurably less sharp, not in a single dramatic movement, but quietly, gradually across entire populations. Researchers pointed this to one common thread. We stopped doing the cognitive work ourselves. First calculators, then GPS, then Google, and now AI, which doesn't just store our information but thinks in our place. Every generation of tools made life easier, but each one quietly took something off our mental plate. And our brains were like any muscle that left unused began to soften. People think about the world we are living right now. Everything seems to be at our fingertips. Algorithms decide what you see, what you read, and what you feel before even you realize you had a choice. And the AI chatbots that gives you the digested information that you don't have to do the hard work of forming your own understanding. We are absorbing information constantly, but we are not thinking about it. not processing it. And this is where it is getting personal. Instead of working together with AI, we are completely handing our creativity and reasoning abilities to it. We are in a world where predictive algorithms controlling our thoughts and shaping our brains to crave for quick results. And it takes us to a stage where reading feels boring, interacting with strangers is scary, and thinking feels very hard. So what do we actually do about this? I am not telling you to stop using AI. I use it every day. Researchers who find all of these use it too. The answer isn't rejection, it's consciousness. Use AI after you tried. Struggle with the problem first, even for 5 minutes. Then use AI to challenge your thinking, not to replace it. I personally use something called nemesis prompting. I ask AI to argue against my own ideas, to stress test my reasoning before even it is tested in real life. It changes everything about how you use the tool. But here is what I want you to remember before you close this video. The knowledge you are carrying inside your head is more valuable than ever. Because AI is only useful to the people who have enough internal knowledge to evaluate it, correct it, and guide it properly. If you have outsourced all your thinking, you can't even tell when AI is wrong. For me, one thing changed. I stopped opening AI first. I try first and then I use AI to push my thinking further. So next time before you open the chat window, just give it a try, even for 2 minutes. Your brain is more capable than you are giving it credit for. If this video made you to think, share it with someone who needs to hear it.